And Moses said to the sons of Israel, See, the Lord has called by name Bezalel, the son of Uri, son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah, and he has filled him with the Spirit of God, with ability, with intelligence, with knowledge, and with all craftsmanship, to devise artistic designs, to work in gold and silver and bronze, in cutting stones, for setting, and in carving wood, for work in every skilled craft. And he has inspired him to teach, both him and Aholiab, the son of Ahisamach, of the tribe of Dan. He has filled them with ability to do every sort of work done by a craftsman, or by a designer, or by an embroiderer, in blue and purple and scarlet stuff, and fine twined linen, or by a weaver, by any sort of workman or skilled designer. Bezalel and Aholiab, and every able man in whom the Lord has put ability and intelligence to know how to do any work in the construction of the sanctuary, shall work in accordance with all that the Lord has commanded. And Moses called Bezalel and Aholiab, and every able man in whose mind the Lord had put ability, every one whose heart stirred him up to come to do the work. And they received from Moses all the free will offering which the sons of Israel had brought for doing the work on the sanctuary. They still kept bringing him free will offerings every morning, so that all the able men who were doing every sort of task on the sanctuary came, each from the task that he was doing, and said to Moses, The people bring much more than enough for doing the work which the Lord has commanded us to do. So Moses gave command, and word was proclaimed throughout the camp, Let neither man nor woman do anything more for the offering for the sanctuary. So the people were restrained from bringing, for the stuff they had was sufficient to do all the work and more. And all the able men among the workmen made the tabernacle with 10 curtains. They were made of fine twined linen, and blue and purple and scarlet stuff, with cherubim skillfully worked. The length of each curtain was 28 cubits, and the breadth of each curtain 4 cubits. All the curtains had the same measure. And he coupled 5 curtains to one another, and the other 5 curtains he coupled to one another. And he made loops of blue on the edge of the outmost curtain of the first set. Likewise, he made them on the edge of the outmost curtain of the second set. He made 50 loops on the one curtain, and he made 50 loops on the edge of the curtain that was in the second set. The loops were opposite one another. And he made 50 clasps of gold, and coupled the curtains one to the other with clasps, so the tabernacle was one whole. He also made curtains of goat's hair for a tent over the tabernacle. He made 11 curtains. The length of each curtain was 30 cubits, and the breadth of each curtain 4 cubits. The 11 curtains had the same measure. He coupled 5 curtains by themselves, and 6 curtains by themselves. And he made 50 loops on the edge of the outmost curtain of the one set, and 50 loops on the edge of the other connecting curtain. And he made 50 clasps of bronze to couple the tent together, that it might be one whole. And he made for the tent a covering of tanned ram skins and goat skins. Then he made the upright frames for the tabernacle of acacia wood. 10 cubits was the length of a frame, and 1.5 cubits the breadth of each frame. Each frame had 2 tenons, for fitting together. He did this for all the frames of the tabernacle. The frames for the tabernacle he made thus: 20 frames for the south side, and he made 40 bases of silver under the 20 frames, 2 bases under one frame for its 2 tenons, and 2 bases under another frame for its 2 tenons. And for the second side of the tabernacle, on the north side, he made 20 frames, and their 40 bases of silver, 2 bases under one frame, and 2 bases under another frame. And for the rear of the tabernacle westward, he made 6 frames. And he made 2 frames for corners of the tabernacle in the rear. And they were separate beneath, but joined at the top, at the first ring. He made 2 of them thus, for the 2 corners. There were 8 frames with their bases of silver, 16 bases, under every frame 2 bases. And he made bars of acacia wood, 5 for the frames of the one side of the tabernacle, and 5 bars for the frames of the other side of the tabernacle, and 5 bars for the frames of the tabernacle at the rear westward. And he made the middle bar to pass through, from end to end halfway up the frames. And he overlaid the frames with gold, and made their rings of gold for holders for the bars, and overlaid the bars with gold. And he made the veil of blue, and purple, and scarlet stuff, and fine twined linen. With cherubim skillfully worked he made it. And for it he made 4 pillars of acacia, and overlaid them with gold. Their hooks were of gold, and he cast for them 4 bases of silver. He also made a screen for the door of the tent, of blue and purple and scarlet stuff and fine twined linen, embroidered with needlework, and its 5 pillars with their hooks. He overlaid their capitals, and their fillets were of gold, but their 5 bases were of bronze. Bezalel made the ark of acacia wood. 2 cubits and a half was its length, a cubit and a half its breadth, and a cubit and a half its height. And he overlaid it with pure gold within and without, and made a molding of gold around it. And he cast for it 4 rings of gold for its 4 corners, 2 rings on its one side, and 2 rings on its other side. And he made poles of acacia wood, and overlaid them with gold, and put the poles into the rings on the sides of the ark, to carry the ark. And he made a mercy seat of pure gold. 2 cubits and a half was its length, and a cubit and a half its breadth. And he made 2 cherubim of hammered gold. On the 2 ends of the mercy seat he made them, 1 cherub on the one end, and 1 cherub on the other end. Of one piece with the mercy seat he made the cherubim on its 2 ends. The cherubim spread out their wings above, overshadowing the mercy seat with their wings, with its faces one to another. Toward the mercy seat were the faces of the cherubim. He also made the table of acacia wood. 2 cubits was its length, a cubit its breadth, and a cubit and a half its height. And he overlaid it with pure gold, and made a molding of gold around it. And he made around it a frame a handbreadth wide, and made a molding of gold around the frame. He cast for it 4 rings of gold, and fastened the rings to the 4 corners at its 4 legs. Close to the frame were the rings, as holders for the poles to carry the table. He made the poles of acacia wood to carry the table, and overlaid them with gold. And he made the vessels of pure gold, which were to be upon the table, its plates and dishes for incense, and its bowls and flagons with which to pour libations. He also made the lampstand of pure gold. The base and the shaft of the lampstand were made of hammered work. Its cups, its capitals, and its flowers were of one piece with it. And there were 6 branches going out of its sides, 3 branches of the lampstand out of one side of it, and 3 branches of the lampstand out of the other side of it. 3 cups made like almonds, each with capital and flower, on one branch, and 3 cups made like almonds, each with capital and flower, on the other branch. So for the 6 branches going out of the lampstand. And on the lampstand itself were 4 cups made like almonds, with their capitals and flowers, and a capital of one piece with it under each pair of the 6 branches going out of it. Their capitals and their branches were of one piece with it. The whole of it was one piece of hammered work of pure gold. And he made it 7 lamps, and its snuffers, and its trays of pure gold. He made it and all its utensils of a talent of pure gold. He made the altar of incense of acacia wood. Its length was a cubit, and its breadth was a cubit. It was square, and 2 cubits was its height. Its horns were of one piece with it. He overlaid it with pure gold, its top and its sides round about, and its horns. And he made a molding of gold round about it, and made 2 rings of gold on it under its molding, on 2 opposite sides of it, as holders for the poles with which to carry it. And he made the poles of acacia wood, and overlaid them with gold. He made the holy anointing oil also, and the pure fragrant incense, blended as by the perfumer. A Psalm of David. But at my stumbling they gathered in glee. They gathered together against me. Cripples whom I did not know, slandered me without ceasing. They impiously mocked more and more, gnashing at me with their teeth. How long, O Lord, will you look on? Rescue me from their ravages, my life from the lions. Then I will thank you in the great congregation, in the mighty throng I will praise you. Let not those rejoice over me who are wrongfully my foes, and let not those wink the eye who hate me without cause. For they do not speak peace, but against those who are quiet in the land they conceive words of deceit. They open wide their mouths against me. They say, Aha, aha, our eyes have seen it. You have seen, O Lord, be not silent. O Lord, be not far from me. Bestir yourself, and awake for my right, for my cause, my God and my Lord. Vindicate me, O Lord, my God, according to your righteousness, and let them not rejoice over me. Let them not say to themselves, Aha, we have our heart's desire. Let them not say, We have swallowed him up. Let them be put to shame and confusion altogether, who rejoice at my calamity. Let them be clothed with shame and dishonor, who magnify themselves against me. Let those who desire my vindication shout for joy and be glad, and say evermore, Great is the Lord who delights in the welfare of his servant. Then my tongue shall tell of your righteousness, and of your praise all the day long. For it will be as when a man going on a journey called his servants and entrusted to them his property. To one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, to another 1, to each according to his ability. Then he went away. He who had received the 5 talents went at once and traded with them, and he made 5 talents more. So also, who had the 2 talents made 2 talents more. But he who had received the 1 talent went and dug in the ground and hid his master's money. Now after a long time, the master of those servants came and settled accounts with them. And he who had received the 5 talents came forward bringing 5 talents more, saying, Master, you delivered to me 5 talents. Here I have made 5 talents more. His master said to him, Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a little. I will set you over much. Enter into the joy of your master. And he also, who had the 2 talents, came forward, saying, Master, you delivered to me 2 talents. Here I have made 2 talents more. His master said to him, Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a little. I will set you over much. Enter into the joy of your master. He also, who had received the 1 talent, came forward, saying, Master, I knew you to be a hard man, reaping where you did not sow, and gathering where you did not winnow. So I was afraid, and I went and hid your talent in the ground. Here you have what is yours. But his master answered him, You wicked and slothful servant, you knew that I reap where I have not sowed, and gather where I have not winnowed. Then you ought to have invested my money with the bankers, and at my coming I should have received what was my own with interest. So take the talent from him, and give it to him who has the 10 talents. For to everyone who has will more be given, and he will have abundance. But from him who has not, even what he has will be taken away. And cast the worthless servant into the outer darkness, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. We are in a state of constant tension between being generous and being miserly. Everyone wants our money, and most ask for it. Businesses, charities, family members. The Israelites set a great example of generosity. After their apostasy at the golden calf incident, they have a change of heart, renew their covenant with the Lord, and make personal free will offerings for the construction of the tabernacle. In fact, they offer so much that workmen have to ask that they stop bringing offerings. We see the counterexample in the psalm, where the psalmist's generosity and friendship have been repaid by betrayal and derision. His former friends now hate him without cause, showing themselves to be ungenerous and stingy. Jesus, similarly, in the parable of the talents, shows us the difference between people who act out of fear and greed and those who act out of generosity and faith. The fearful, miserly servant buries the money entrusted to him in the ground and is judged wicked and slothful. The faithful servants, however, have diligently invested their master's money to make substantial profit. Their generosity to their master, in working hard for him, has paid off. Who needs your generosity in time, talent, or treasure today?